Okay, today we are going to go over Chapter 8 Study Guide in detail. You will be allowed to use a calculator on this test. Here we go. We are going to find the radius. Remember, the radius is half the distance across a circle. If the diameter all the way across is 10 inches, that means the radius would be 5 inches. Number 2, we're finding the diameter when the radius is 3. The radius is halfway across, diameter is all the way across, so if halfway across is 3, that makes the diameter 6 inches. Okay, the next section, we are going to find the circumference and the area of each circle. Formulas will be provided. Area is pi r squared. Circumference is pi times diameter. We're using 3.14 for pi. Okay, I will start with circumference. To find the circumference of a circle, we do pi times diameter. We're using 3.14 for pi. This says the radius is 7, which means diameter is 14. Okay, when you use your calculator and do 3.14 times 14, you're going to get 43.96. It is inches. I do need to see formula, substitute, solve. Okay, so you are showing your thought process. You are not just writing the answer on the line the day of the test and moving on. Okay, area is pi r squared. Using 3.14 for pi, radius is 7. We know we do exponents first, so we're doing 3.14 times 49. We get 153.86. Remember, area is always squared inches. That's everything I should see. Both problems in the box. Okay. Same thing for number 6. We're finding circumference and area. Circumference is pi times diameter. 3.14 for pi. Diameter is 12. So formula, substitute, and then you can plug that into your calculator. You should get 37.68 centimeters. Area, pi r squared. If the diameter is 12, that makes the radius half, which is 6. So we're going to do 6 squared, which is 36. So pi times 36, we should get 113.04 inches squared. So everything I'm showing is exactly what I should see the day of the test. Formula, substitute, solve. Okay, and labeled. Okay, let's look at number 7. Your bedroom is in the shape of a square that is 14 feet long on each side. Will a circular rug with a circumference of 42.39 feet fit into your room? If not, by how many feet is the rug too wide? Show all work. Okay, so when we lay this rug down, we are obviously finding the circumference. Remember, circumference is pi times diameter. And again, you'll be able to find that formula up above. It tells us the circumference is 42.39, so that's what we're substituting in. We know we always substitute in 3.14 for pi. I don't know the diameter quite yet. So then we're going to solve that equation. We want to solve to figure out what the diameter is. So obviously we will use inverse operation to solve for D. So the diameter all the way across the rug, 42.39 divided by 3.14, you'll use your calculator, is 13.5, and we're talking about feet. So the distance across this whole rug is 13.5 feet. The room is 14 feet. So will it fit? Yes. The rug will fit. Okay. Perimeter and area of the figure. Perimeter and area. Okay, let's start with the perimeter. Remember, the perimeter is the distance around the circle. And if we're talking about the distance around a circle, we're talking about circumference. So we're going to do pi times diameter. This is a semicircle, a half circle. So we're going to do circumference divided in half since it's a semicircle. 3.14 for pi. It tells us diameter all the way across is 8. So if we do 3.14 times 8, we get 25.12, and then we're going to divide that in half since it's a half circle or a semicircle. So we get 12.56. We are not quite done. We just found the perimeter around this semicircle. We have not found down here. So we're going to add 8 since it's perimeter, the distance around for us. So from here to here is 12.56. Now we're going to add this 8. So then 12.56 plus 8 is 20.56 centimeters. Okay, and now let's talk about area. Area is pi r squared. That's for a full circle. Since it's a semicircle, we're going to divide it in half. 3.14. The diameter is 8, which means the radius is 4. We're going to square it. 4 squared is 16. Let me double check my work on this one. Yep. So we get area is 50.24. And again, we're going to divide it in half since it's a half circle. So we're going to get 25.12 square centimeters. Okay, let's look at this next one. Composite figure, we're finding the perimeter and the area. Let's start with perimeter. Let's start with this semicircle, and then we'll have to add the diameter after that. Okay, so perimeter of the semicircle, pi times diameter. It's a half circle, so we'll divide it in 2. The diameter is 6. 3.14 times 6 is 18.84. You're dividing it by 2 to give you 9.42. 9.42 is just the circle. We're going to add 6 for the perimeter. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have, oh, nope, we're not going to add 6 quite yet. Not quite yet. We actually, if we're just doing perimeter, we wouldn't need the inside, okay? Sorry. Okay, so 9.42 is here. We're doing perimeter, so I'm doing this plus this plus this plus the circle. Sorry about that. Okay, so 6, it's a square, plus 6 plus 6 plus 9.42. Okay, looks like a basketball hoop or a basketball court. There we go. That'll be circumference, okay, or the perimeter around that court. So 6 plus 6 plus 9.42. We have the circumference or perimeter is 27.42. 27.42 meters. Okay, now let's do area, okay? Draw a line. Area of the square, well, would be easy peasy. Length times width, it is a 6 by 6, or 36. There's one answer. Plus the area of the semicircle, I'll erase that, would be pi r squared divided in half. Okay, 3.14 for pi. Radius of that circle would be 3. We're squaring it. So 3.14 times 9 is 28.26. And we're going to divide it in half since it's a semicircle to get 14.13. That's the inside of the circle. 36 is the inside of the square. So to find the area, we'll add them together to get 50.13. And it's going to be meters squared. Okay. Continuing to 10 and 11, we're still finding perimeter and area. Okay, let's see if I can not mess this one up. 10, perimeter, we're doing distance around this, so circumference is pi times diameter, and it's a semicircle, so we're dividing it by 2. Diameter is 6. 3.14 times 6 is 18.84. Dividing it in half for a semicircle is 9.42. So from here to here is 9.42. Okay. This is going to be a 2 by 2 by 2. So we're going to do 9.42 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 15.42 millimeters. Okay, area of the semicircle, pi r squared divided in half, and then the square is a 2 by 2. 3.14, the radius is 3. .14 times 9, I feel like we've already done this one somewhere. 28.26 divided by 2 is 14.13. So we're going to add those two areas together and get 18.13 square millimeters. And finally, on number 10, we can find perimeter and area. We have 8 by 3. If this is 5 and all the way across is 8, 6, 7, 8, that makes this 3. And if this is 8 and this is 3, 5 plus 3 would be 8. So to find the perimeter, we're doing 8 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 8. We should get 32 inches. Okay, I'm going to divide this shape here. This is an 8 by 3, or 24 square inches. And this is a 5 by 5, or 25 square inches. Just making sure I show my work and thought process here. So order, adding the 25 and 24, we get 49 square inches. Okay. Okay, let's move on to number 12. We are finding the area. This one did not come through on this scanned worksheet. Hopefully it did on yours, on your printed copy. You will see down here This is a 6 by 3, which gives you 18. If you counted the ones on the inside, let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You should have 24 counted whole squares. And then there are 3 halves. I'm sorry, 6 halves, which make 3 more holes, okay? So then when you add those together, you should have found 27 units squared for the area. 13, you are burying an invisible dog fence around the perimeter of your lawn. How many feet of fencing do you need? Okay, we need to find some measurements that are not there. This is a 2, this is a 5. This would also be a 2. If 5 is all the way across and here is 1, that makes 2 plus this one would be 5. And then the inside is 1, which means this inside is also 1. So you'll want to kind of show me that. And then to find perimeter, we've got, I'll start down here and work my way clockwise. 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. 16 meters is how much fence you need. The circumference, I should be thinking pi times diameter, of a round pool is 21.98 feet. It gave us the circumference. What is the radius? Well, this formula calls for diameter. Oops, I do know what to plug in for pi, 3.14. We will find the diameter first. Solve for diameter by doing the inverse and dividing both sides by 3.14. When you do that, you get 7 feet. Okay, again, be mindful it's asking for radius. So if the diameter is 7, half of that, the radius would be 3.5 feet. Okay, and then we've got some fair game review. Write the inequality. It does not say we have to solve. B increased by 2.4. Increased means add. Greater than 4. Solve. Show all steps. Inverse operations, we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And then divide by a -5 to get a -2. I'm going to put -2 back in to make sure it makes sense. That would be a +10 plus 5 is 15. Solve and graph. 2-step inequality, add 4 to both sides to get 20 and divide by 4 to get 5. Greater than or equal to is a closed circle pointing to the right. Finally, plot the following points and label, then find the area of the rectangle. So A is at -1, left 1, +2, up 2. B is at +1, right 1, up 2, B. C is at -1, -3, C, and D is at +1, -3. We're going to ignore that phone. Okay, there's my rectangle. We're finding the area. We know area is length times width. It is a 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 by 5. The area is 10 units squared would be our label. Okay. Please see me if you have any questions.